Hello guys, today I'm going to talk about how to count distinct values in an array with duplicate elements. And this is very easy to do. Doesn't matter which language you're using, either JavaScript, TypeScript, or Java or Python. As long as your language has a array constructor and a set constructor, you can get the job done in just a couple lines of code. So first we create a dummy array with duplicate values. Here, if I'm using TypeScript, but if you use the same language, remember to at the compiler options set the target to ex6 or higher, because I use this fill function. It's defined on array prototype since ex6. If you use ex5 or earlier, it will give an error message because this function is not defined in earlier versions of JavaScript. Okay, so basically I create an array with the 2 Marys, 3 Claire, and 1 Kathy. It's an array with duplicate elements. Let's just execute this code. Okay, let's see what it produces. So it produces this thing, 2 Marys, 3 Claire, and 1 Kathy. So this is an array with the duplicate elements. The next thing, I select distinct values into a new array. It's very easy because the set constructor will take an array as argument and will select the distinct values as its member. So what happens is that I just use a set array with a new keyword to create a new set with just Mary, Claire, and Kathy, removing all duplicates because set only accepts unique values. And then I use these 3 dots to kind of unpack this newly created set object into 3 distinct values. And then I pass these unpacked values into an array constructor to create a new array called distinct values, dist. And then I console log the dist. You can see the second output here. It's the distinct values, Mary, Claire, Kathy. Just this. So you use array and pass that array into a set constructor, then unpack that set and pass it into array constructor. You get an array of distinct values. Then the next is just straightforward. You create a placeholder. I use the empty array called count. And then for each distinct values, I would use this filter method on the original array and filter out only when the value equals this value in the distinct array. So for each value in the distinct array, I filter on the original array and count how many this value occurs. So this is fairly straightforward. We have used for each use filter, and then we get a new object called new array called count ct, which houses the number of counts. Now I just print out the results. So the last printout is just a Mary, Claire, Kathy 2, 3, 1. That's the counts. Each occurs twice, 3 times, and once. So that just we'll create a set with the original array, so you can get all the distinct values. Then you create a new array by unpacking the set. And then you loop through that new array. For each distinct values, you count how many of that values occur in the original array and save it to a new placeholder array. And then you print out the result. It's easy as pie. It's just a few lines of code. I noticed there are some posts or whatever they use. I think they over-complicate things. So for this example, if you know the code that generates the placeholder, not placeholder, the dummy array with the duplicate values, the real thing is just these lines of code. Super easy. 1 line is 2 lines, basically 2 lines. This placeholder, yeah, you can count it as 3, but it really does nothing. So basically 2 lines of code. You're done. Okay, thank you.